All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, very excited to be talking to an individual competing at the 2024 PFL Championships event, which goes down on November 29th, and vying for that light heavyweight tournament title against Dovlet Yagshimuradov. Great getting to have Impa Kasanganay on the show to chat a bit. How are you doing, man? It seems like lots going on over there right now.
Interviews for the walk back and forth. That's the life of fight week, It just keeps moving forward, and very blessed to be here. Now, second time to Riyadh. You said find Douglas on Yagshimuradov, fixing opponent, and looking forward to claiming this victory this Friday, and enjoying each day. Enjoying each day.
Oh, I love hearing that, man. And kind of an interesting narrative thread heading into everything, just with you, defeating Josh Silveira, who you defeated to win the 2023 tournament. And now you're getting to another PFL finals. And it really kind of tells the story of the season in as far as like, facing one of the high level individuals that came over from Bellator since PFL acquired Bellator around this time last year. Like, how do you feel about just like the general overview of the season and how everything kind of played out and everything for 2024?
Not fight, but it's like I understand that this decision was close. That helped me get better, and it's been a big inspiration for me this season about how I felt, no matter what's going on in life. Like as I always say, stick to discipline and stick to my faith, most importantly. Stepping into the Alex Belize fight, so grateful. Like I said, never miss again, and he showed improvement and growth. Stepped into the fight, good improvement and growth. He dropped me, got back up. Decided to claim that victory, and we did it. Going into the Josh Silveira fight, obviously fought him before. He came with a different energy, he came with a different heart, a different heat about himself. He's a great team, and you don't get rematches that fast in anything. So it's pretty cool. And to me, that was affirmation that I'm at the right place at the right time to be who I am. That's exactly what I needed to be who I am today. We're fine, and we know who we are, and what is built inside me from that. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. That to me has been pretty cool. So I'm grateful that I got to fight him. Right, and now stepping into the Dovlet Yagshimuradov, excellent opponent, excellent gym, and that to me has been inspiring because I know that I'm prepared, ready, and dialed in. So on Friday, November 29th, when I claim that victory, it's a testimony and it's an affirmation of everything that's come led up to this point. And as we move forward to the next one, I'm very much blessed.
It's kind of curious. Like, was this almost like a surprising opponent in a sense? Because it seems like from some interviews that I was seeing, you were almost foreseeing a Rob Wilkinson fight transpiring, but Dovledzon obviously got a victory over Rob Wilkinson. Like, is there a certain sense of, I don't know, being surprised, like maybe, expecting to fight Rob Wilkinson and then Dovledzon working his way into the tournament finals at all?
Was for Dolan, so I always thought he'd be in there as well. He's an opportunity. I said I wanted the best. I didn't care who it was. If it was him, I seen Rob during fight week. I seen him around and like expect him. I know he won the season in 2022, but when I saw him throughout the season, it wasn't really much of a surprise. Not disrespect to him on his team, but watching Noah on how he carried himself and finding ways to win throughout the season. Some put himself in the best position and be on the other side of the bracket. We fought in the season we fought now. I really respect him. So I knew we crossed paths eventually or in life and studied a lot of tape on him and continue to. He's shown what he can do and he's shown in different ways. When he stepped into that Rob Wilkinson fight, yeah, it was close for him. And I think people misinterpret what the Rob Wilkinson mentioned. It wasn't that necessarily. It's like I could see him there because I wanted to fight him. And he called me out or he said something, but there's always respect there. It's fighting. Like that's part of the job. But I was always like, all right, like cool. Like he talked about me and then like I respect him. So I said, yeah, it'd be cool to see him in the final or at some point in the season. Didn't pan out that way. Everything panned out for the right reason. So on Friday, show what I do.
And something I wanted to touch on just because it ties into the, I guess, overall story of previously being a PFL champion and looking to, garner that distinction again. Like, I just loved what you were able to do the first time out with the money that you got. And, just using it
Thank
towards Impa's refinery. Like, how has that all been? Because that's such an amazing effort, offering discounted rates to veterans, first responders, teachers, etc. Just really, helping the essential workers. I love that, man. How has that all gone since you allocated the money in that direction and etc.?
Actually, we serve the community within the jail system coming in right now. Few nurses, I've had a teacher reach out. I did more private session with a couple of teachers. I got to work with the guy who works at the Secret Service. That's the guy from DHS came down and trained. And, we were better to just help build out the gym, like, and probably just out. So, like, it's been pretty cool seeing people come in that gym and bring that community in there. And, like, some of the kids ask about wanting to become essential workers, what do you call it? Veterans or public servants. Like, it's pretty cool. And you're building that community at the gym. Like, we're not, Dieter always says, he's my trainer, but he also works me at the gym. I bought the gym from. We're not here we're here to build world champion fighters. That's great. We're here to build world champion people. And you start seeing that growth because we're here to serve the community and be a light in that. I appreciate you asking about their fighting, and it's been a blessing. Like, I think God purchased the gym this year. Wasn't planned, but God had it planned. And to see what it's doing this for people's lives, all the kids coming in and training, the trainers doing what they need to do. I'm blessed beyond measure, man, and I'm loving what I get to do.
Yeah, it really comes across, man, and it's so cool. I guess entertaining you get the desired outcome in this next one. Would there be like a similar, I guess, mindset to allocate that money, like putting it back into similar, I guess, like community outreach or community enrichment sort of efforts and things like that?
Definitely, yeah. So we did Operation Christmas Child this year. That was pretty cool. Donating to that, Cameron Dobbs back in Miami, she runs it, and being able to give back to give to people who may have never had a Christmas or even get like the essential items. Going back and into the holidays, it'd be really cool to do something for Thanksgiving for people or post Thanksgiving or Christmas. Sorry. And my mom's also a nurse. So it'd be great to go by a hospital and just like let what God's blessed me with be a way to help other people. So I'm definitely gonna talk to my team about it. Like I talk to my publicist Joanna a lot and to see which way is the best way to help people like in a community. And I'd like to do a bigger event this year, something that is back with prepares me for the next school year, whatever it may be. But pretty stoked. I'm blessed, and when I come to victory on Friday, they let me to serve the people that God's put in my life, and it lets me cross paths with people I may not ever meet one time. So I'm definitely really excited about that, and that's a big part of what I do. And I'm gonna take that and run with it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it seems like you have such a wealth of, I guess, options in front of you, right? Because, I mean, you have the tournament title here, obviously, but even beyond that, like looking at 2025, I mean, you could theoretically, if you wanted to, get into that, PFL super fight division. It seems like that might have a wealth of opportunity for you. I've also seen some interviews where you were saying that you could win PFL tournament titles across theoretically several weight categories. So just seems like a lot of options. And as far as like if you would want to go the route of like another, tournament succession, like going through like another playoffs, or maybe 2025 is like a super fight kind of year. It just seems like you have a lot of options.
Yeah, right. And that's a cool place to be, right? The time you have fights, and then the time you're asking for fights, and the times you're almost like you're begging for fights and praying for fights and pleading with God to get a fight. And then you have people calling you out, and then you have titles and come this victory and keep moving forward. And I talk to my trades and see what's best. Talk to PFL, see how I can best help the organization grow and my career grow as well. I love it. I love to fight. Like I came on fight with man, it'd be fun to fight 5 good fights again next year too. Then it's 2, 3 fights and see what's best to build on, building outside of fighting too. The Super Fight Series is very intriguing since they're going to Dubai and all these different places in the world where fighting is growing. So being a part of that. Um, the fact that we have options are pretty cool, and I understand that the more a business mentor and manager out that most say like the more people you knock out, the more business opportunities come. So I keep the main thing, and then right, mention my hands raised, and I move forward, and I'm 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 like the options keep growing, they keep multiplying, going from glory to glory to glory. So everlasting. So I look at it like
And I know you've put it out there a couple times, like the desire to want to fight Francis Ngannou, who's the PFL super fight heavyweight champion. Has there been any dialogue with the PFL about an Ngannou fight for 2025? Because with a win here, I'm just thinking, yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. I hope so.
no,
Johnny or fighting Francis Ngannou, like I believe by 2025, that fight will be a fight signed for whether he's ready to fight 25 or 26 or this year. But man, I would love to move up and take him out. I have a lot of respect for him. He's done so much work. I believe what better fight to make than Francis Ngannou, myself, and Congo and Kinshasa. Let's redo the Rumble of the Jungle, but better in an MMA way. Let's do it in Cameroon, where he's from. Let's show people what African MMA and what the next stage of what the African continent, what they can bring to it. Like take inspiration from Riyadh, a country that's opened up from Saudi Arabia, the world, and now they're showing what they can do. There's so many cool people and so many beautiful people and places in Africa and all over that the world hasn't really seen or experienced. Why not bring people there and show them the beauty of arts? And it's no disrespect to France. Like I said, I even didn't call him out as much after the passing of his son. It wasn't like a personal thing that I wanted to respect him by, but I really respect him and who he is and the fact that he fought hard. So yeah, this interview goes by Francis Ngannou. He hears this, like set it up and send the contract.
I just love that vision because he's obviously very involved in more of like a board kind of role for PFL Africa, but to have him actually fight in an event like that would be just massive. I mean, the way that would just like I guess bring such like a surge to that particular market, but just like what a sight that would be for the MMA world overall. So yeah, I love that vision, man. That's great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, love to see it for sure. And then I mean, obviously like that Johnny Eblen rematch seems kind of on the table as well. It was such a close initial fight and just like I said, further kind of underscores that idea of how many options you seem to have going forward and everything.
Yeah, man, very blessed, and I'm grateful. So it's like the fact that I have that. Take out Johnny and take out Francis the next year. I say this when I train the next two fights. If I want you to offer me, uh, Johnny Eblen, Francis Ngannou. Other than that, don't call me.
Yeah, no, I love hearing that. I guess with this particular fight you have here, like is there like a certain I guess idea you have of how this fight is going to play out? Like is there a certain idea of, what the headlines are gonna read after this fight? Is it just as, simplistic essentially as like, Impa Kasanganay does it again, multiple time PFL champion, or is there like a particular outcome that you, I guess, visualize for this one here?
That's right. I visualize me finishing him. I said the best way to respect your opponent is to beat them as badly as they'd be beaten by. And he's an opponent that should definitely be respected to the highest degree. And for me, it's dominate, weaponize discipline, informed by faith, and control over and dominate every single aspect of this bout. Moving forward, and shake his hand and move forward instead of say, "Hey, Kasana does it again, multiple time PFL, back to back PFL light heavyweight champion. I'm in performance, I'm in victory, finish, and he leaves with respect for his opponent."
And it's cool because I was talking to Brendan Loughnane a bit earlier, and I'm realizing that you have a very similar opportunity because Larissa Pacheco and Kayla Harrison, as of this juncture, are the only individuals who've had multiple PFL titles. And Brendan Loughnane is an individual who has a chance to get to that two title status just as, you have this opportunity. Like, how much would it mean to you to kind of be in that rarefied air of multiple time PFL tournament champions?
So when you pray to be great, and I've been praying for a long time and praying, always believe in that. Like when I claimed that victory, I was not inspired by the Pacheco, I was not inspired by Kayla Harrison, inspired by Brendan Loughnane. I was talking to him like 20, 30 minutes ago. And that for me is indication. I heard a guy once say, like, if we're in a room full of great people who've done great things, you've been around them. Remember that you are one too. This Friday, I solidified that. And when that happens, I claim victory, move forward, and I'm like, okay, cool, to the next one.
Yeah, and what are you getting up to in the downtime? Like, obviously, you allocate so much time to mixed martial arts and you have such a great mind for the game. But, like, the last time we were talking, it seemed like you were getting into some gardening efforts and some guitar playing and stuff like that. Like, what are we getting up to in the downtime when we're not training?
Downtime is definitely gone down, but the motorcycle, still play guitar. Um, and I do like every once in a while, I host people at the house and have like a fight night or something. So community stuff. My little brother moved in with me, so we've been hanging out a lot. And I'm gonna start volunteering at my church. I'm pretty stoked about that. We got a blue church in Miami, and in this program, I have like two more courses to finish, and then I get to volunteer and serve. So I'm very very blessed, and I'm enjoying life. I've been trying different restaurants. So this Thai restaurant next to my house is really good. East Coast Thai. Just came to mind. So I've been eating in my downtime late at night, but we're building out a Whispering Forest media company. We created our first motorcycle film, right? I was into the Valley Motorcycle Film Festival. The refinery's growing, and we're putting that out. And I don't need much downtime right now. And I'm going to keep moving forward.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're being active in a very purposeful, enjoyable way. So yeah, it's good to
Thank you.
have a lot of great projects on the go and stuff like that. And yeah, no, it's always great getting to, talk to you, man. But I do want to be mindful of all you have on the go over there, Impa. So in saying that, I figured I'd give you the floor in case there was a final parting thought you wanted to add as we're kind of wrapping things up here, man. I do appreciate you making some time.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless you, everybody watching. Remember your unconditional love. Keep pursuing your dreams, and you don't have to consult with everybody because the vision that God gave you is for you. So cultivate that, water that seed, and get the most out of your life.
That's awesome, man. It's a great parting thought and really looking forward to this Dovlet Yagshimuradov fight. I'll certainly be checking out the light heavyweight championship fight and all the tournament fights on November 29th. And again, to reiterate, thank you for the insights and just have a good rest of your day, Impa. Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. God bless you.